Natalie gets a gold star for the night.
Yeah, she does. All right. Okay. Tonight we're going to talk about staying consistent and hustling during a busy season. And this does not have to be a social norm of a busy season. We're all going to have different busy seasons in our life. So for some people, summer is insane. And for some people, holidays are crazy. And for some people, February is a train wreck. So like it just depends on your life and what you're going through. And maybe you just had a baby, or maybe you have family coming into town for an extended period of time, or XYZ. Maybe you have 85 foster babies coming into your home at all times, and you're moving and you're going to take the bar and also rocking life in general. That would be Lindsay. But so you just never know like what it is that life is going to throw at you. And the key to this business, just like the key to your fitness journey, and I talk about this all the time, it's where our name came from. The key to this business is consistency. If you can stay consistent, even when it's hard and even when it's busy and even when you're tired, you will see success. It doesn't mean that your business is always going to move miles forward. Sometimes it's just going to move a centimeter forward. And sometimes it's going to feel like you're moving backwards. But if you stay consistent and keep going and don't give up, you will see progress. And so I just posted this in my challenge group the other day, but I think it's fitting to this as well. It's kind of like when you're sitting in traffic and you feel like you're not going anywhere, but you will go somewhere. You are going to get to your destination. So, but if you like park your car, then you're not going anywhere. So, staying consistent is huge. I joked in our text, I think almost everyone here is in our text, that when you guys asked me to say this, I joked to check your feelings at the door. Because here's the deal. If you are here and you are wanting to start a business, run a business, continue your business, build your business, you chose this, you chose to be here, you told me you wanted it, and guess what? You got to do the work to do it. And so if that is not something that you want to do, if coaching is not something that you want to do full time or even consistently part time, that's cool with me. I love discount coaches. I love hobby coaches. I want you to be happy in doing whatever it is that you're doing. I have no qualifications for being on our team. But if you want to build a business, these are the things that you need to do. So that's kind of my statement for that. Everybody is busy, and there is always someone who's going to be busier than you and doing more than you on less resources. And I tell myself this every time that I remember to get up, not remember, but every time I actually make myself get up and not press snooze, I'm like, dude, Lindsay Arnold is getting up this morning, so I can get up this morning. Like, I have one baby who's getting me up at night, not four. And so I just try to remind myself, or like, that there's always somebody who's going to be busier than you, who is doing more than you. Granted, that doesn't mean that you should be comparing yourself to other people. And I'm not saying that, because that is just going to wreck you. It wrecks me when I do that. But you have to acknowledge, if you want to build a business, and there was a podcast by Rachel Hollis that I just listened to, that she talks about there are going to be seasons of hustle, and there's going to be times like if you just had a baby, or if you just, something big just happened for you, whatever that might be, you might have to say to yourself, I need 5 or 6 months, and that's okay. So I don't want anybody to feel like you always have to be in a season of hustle. That's kind of the point of the hustle versus consistency. But if you want to hustle, then that means prioritizing. That means getting up early, staying up late. I am way better at the staying up late than I am the getting up early. Like, I do what I need to do. It just means I'm not getting to bed till later. And that's okay. Like, I'm still getting my crap done. And so even though I'm not getting up at 5 a.m. every day right now, I'm making sure that I'm getting it done. I'm literally, you guys, like, when I'm nursing my baby at 2 a.m., I am responding to messages in my inbox. Like, you just need to get your work done when you can get it done. And so that doesn't mean you should stay up till 2 a.m. because if you don't need to stay up till 2 a.m., freaking sleep. But if you need to find those pockets of time, like whether that's sitting in the car because you're waiting for your husband to run in and grab groceries, or maybe you're like literally I'm blanking right now, but do you know what I'm saying? Like find those pockets of time where it could be 5 minutes. Maybe you're standing in line. I can't tell you how many times we go to the grocery store on Sundays and it's super crowded and I am sending people share carts in the grocery store. Okay. Like when I say find pockets of time, I mean always be thinking about how you can move your business forward. This does not mean obsess over it. Be disciplined and not obsessed. So you have to find that balance between finding the time and obsessing. So that's a hard thing. That's a fine line, right? Because if we're obsessing over it, our business should not be our life. There are going to be times where it's going to feel like our business is our life because those are those seasons of hustle where maybe for a few weeks, yeah, exactly. Every time I'm sitting on the toilet, literally sometimes I'm blow drying my hair like this because that's the time right now for me. It's not that if you have all the time in the world, if it's a Saturday and you don't have kids or whatever it is that's going on in your life, like if you are like, I have 3 solid hours to work right now, sit down and work for 3 solid hours and put your phone down and go enjoy your day. I'm not telling you to constantly be working if you can find that time. I'm telling you, if you're telling me I have not 1 hour in the day to sit down and get work done, then you better use those pockets. And so, I lost my train of thought. But what I was saying was, I hate when I do this. Mom brain is real. Like I always have kind of been ADD, but now sometimes I just go out into like another world and don't know where I'm going. If you're watching this recording, I'm really sorry. Yes. So power pockets are super, super duper important. And okay, that's what I was saying. There's going to be seasons in your business where it feels like all you're doing is working. Before the MM100 launch, I literally looked at my husband and was like, I need these next 2 weeks because I need this launch to rock. And so when I say like every single moment we were together, I was working, I mean it. And I'm not recommending that long-term for your marriage, but he knew what was important to me. He also is a freelance designer. He also does work on the side. So sometimes he's doing graphic design and he's responding to emails while I'm doing things. And that works for our marriage. So I am not trying to like derail anyone's marriage here by saying this. Make sure you're making time for your spouse. But if you can clarify to your husband, I need like these 2 weeks. Like this is not going to be our life forever. I just need these 2 weeks, or I need these 2 hours, or whatever it is that you need, then that can be helpful to your relationship and also to your business so that you can have the time to do it. And your husband knows like, I'm not just sitting here doing this all the time, all day, every day, but like for right now, she needs to work on this and that's okay. It's important to her and I support her in that. So make sure, I know that Keegan and Julie talked about this a lot on their call if you were on that, but like that's super important because making sure that you have a healthy marriage and family life is very, very vital to you as a person and way more important than this business. So make sure that when you're hustling and being busy, that you are balancing that and communicating and not causing any issues there. But you just really have to find those pockets of time. I'm going to look at this chat here. I know Lindsay went to take the bar and I was like, what is she doing? Like she is taking the bar this weekend and this girl just hit SC16 for the first time. Like, how did she do this? And then I was like, take a mom who has 4 kids and put her in a hotel room alone, and that girl can change the world. And so it's just funny how like sometimes the busiest seasons of your life are like, I know my last 2 weeks of July, oh my gosh, Nat. I know the last 2 weeks of July were like fabulous for me. And I was like, what happened in July? And like, part of it was I had a huge fire under my tush, but the other part of it was I was on vacation with my husband and my in-laws who, AKA hands for the baby, like, and time for me to actually focus because I can do a lot while Carson's around, but I can't really hone in while Carson's around. And so I got sidetracked again. Find those pockets, use them, communicate with your family, with your spouse, with whoever your roommate, whoever you live with. You want to make sure you're nourishing those relationships, but there's going to be a time where you need to sacrifice certain things for a time during the hustle. So I want you to use every single pocket of time, and I want you to get creative and think outside of the box and know that there are stories of top coaches building their businesses probably on a very similar schedule to you, whatever your situation is. Like there seems to be a coach for everybody who's like, I was successful in this way and I did it in this way. And so find that story. Listen to the national wake up calls. They're super important because they are real coaches who started from just like you and me, just like us, maybe busier, maybe less resources, but just like you and I, and they were able to take their business. So the national wake up call is so important because it not only is like we're learning things about how to implement them into our business, but they are real people telling us how they did it and how they started from one point and got to point B. So be watching the national wake up call, be on team calls, make that a priority. Monday night is team call night in our house. My husband knows that. It has been for a year and a half. Like I do not miss team calls unless it's something pretty big. We had our son and I was on team call a couple days later. Like that's just Mondays are team call night. It is ingrained in me. This is a priority in my life. I want to build this business. I am making it work. And all of you are too. I'm so thankful you're here tonight. And so that is my power pocket spiel. Like I said, get creative with your time and set timers. If you have seen this now, if you are a new mom, there's a few of us on here, new mom or mom with a new baby. If you need to know that your baby is your timer right now. So it's okay that your baby is your timer. Like you are not going to be as productive as you want to be if your baby wakes up after a 20-minute nap, and you can't help that. You just have to go with the flow right now, and your baby will get to a point where they're napping, and your business will get to a point where you're able to set those hours. But if you're not there right now, that's okay. So everybody just needs to do what works for them in their season of life and not compare to what's going on over here. I used to really, really, like being totally candid, I very much struggled with envy in the beginning of my business because I wanted to be like this person and like this person. And we all started on the same month and I wanted to do what she was doing and how was she doing so well? And I was comparing all of these things. And I have learned to stop comparing and start celebrating us as individuals. And so instead of being envious of so-and-so because she's at this point and I'm at this point, I am so stinking excited for her and clapping for her because that is where she's at in her life and it's working for her. And I am doing exactly what I can do right here in my own space. So stay in your lane, stop looking at other people, focus on what you can do and be happy with that and be content with that. Now, that does not mean settle and get comfortable. That does not mean don't push outside your comfort zone and don't, do things that scare you and don't stretch yourself and don't work hard. That doesn't mean that. And again, just like everything else in life, you have to find that balance of I'm doing the best I can and I probably could do a little bit more. And only you can answer that. I can't tell you that. Only you can answer that. Can you do a little bit more? And so everybody just kind of has to check themselves. That's your responsibility as a business owner. You own your own business. This is your responsibility. This is the beauty and the mess of being your own boss, right? There's nobody looking over your shoulder, telling you you need to do X, Y, and Z today. You are responsible for that. But guess who you let down if you don't do that? Yourself. Guess who is not getting to move forward in their business if they let themselves down. Yourself, that future, all those dreams that you have, they're not going to happen if you continue to be like, that's good enough. You need to do as much as you can do, as often as you can do it. And also know that everybody runs their business differently. So don't try to do something that works for somebody else if it is not working for you, especially in a busy season. Like, there are times to grow and change things up and see if we can like make something different to work better. But if there is something that works really well for you in your business, especially in a busy season, just again, stay in your own lane. Just keep doing that. So whatever that looks like for you, just keep doing the things that work, and know that there's going to be a time to change things up. So if you're sitting there and you're like, man, this invite really worked for a long time, and now all of a sudden, like, I'm not getting as many things as I used to. Like, I'm not talking to as many people as I used to. Not as many people are responding. This business is constantly changing. So be willing to grow with it, but know that you don't always have to do all the things that everybody else is doing. I've been wanting to run a sneak peek on Instagram for probably 3 or 4 months because everybody else is doing it right now. And I waited. I'm going to do it after our diamond retreat. I'm going to do it for the first time, but I knew what I could handle. And so I said, I'm going to schedule it out. This is when I'm going to do it. I'm pushing myself outside my comfort zone, but I'm not forcing myself to do it in a season where that literally is going to be the end of me. Like, I cannot do that right now. So I'm waiting a few weeks. I'm scheduling it out. I know when it's happening, and I'm doing it in a time that will be good for my business. I'll have been away for a few days making this big deal out of this big trip so that everybody's really excited. And then I'm going to invite them to come follow my story on another Instagram page. But instead of jumping into it 2 months ago when everybody else was doing it because I felt like I had to, I waited. I said, I can't do that right now. I cannot take on one more thing right now. I need to do what I know. So that's another advice for your busy season, is do what you know instead of forcing yourself or kind of forcing things. Don't force things in the busy season. Another thing is, and we hear this all the time, make sure you are doing your business building activities. So we all love to look at pretty things and pretty graphics, and they take a lot of time. Like, I mean, I'm not kidding you when I say they take me hours, and my husband is like, dude, I literally do graphics for a living. Why do you take 3 hours to make a graphic? Just ask me to make you one. And so like, they take me forever. And so on the other day, Monday, whenever I posted those graphics, that literally took me an hour and a half, you guys, and it looks so awful. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, why did I just take all of this time? And Alex was like, what's that splatter for? I was like, okay, not doing well. So I learned that like I could have spent that time doing business building activities and maybe just, quickly put something else together that still would have recognized everyone and made everyone proud, but wouldn't have taken me so long to do it. So do your business building activities first, and Eat the Frog. I haven't read the book, but I know the concept of the book is basically do the thing that you hate the most first. So whatever it is that you are putting off to the very end of the day, you need to do that first. And for almost everybody in the coaching world, that is inviting. Almost all of us are going to say we don't want to invite. Very few people are like, yeah, inviting is my jam, and actually mean it. Most of us get a little pit in our stomach because we have to reach out to people. So yes, eat your broccoli first and your chocolate last. So make sure you're doing that, especially during a busy season. If your workout is what really pumps you up, maybe you need to wake up and do your invites in the morning and do your workout in the afternoon. And I know we're all like pushing morning workouts right now. So if that's what you need to do Morning Meltdown 100, then do it. But I'm just saying, like, if you're in a busy season right now and you're having trouble getting all your invites in, maybe that's what you need to do first. Or if checking in with your challenge group is what really pumps you up, you need to wait to do that until you sent your invites. And know that invites don't have to take forever. Another good tip is to um, the night before, like when you're just sitting in, maybe if you're sitting in bed for 5 minutes while your husband brushes his teeth or whatever, probably poops because husbands poop forever. So if you're sitting there waiting for your husband to finish pooping, take out your phone and make a list of people that I know, I was like, Alex, never mind, he'd be upset with it. Anyways, so make a list of people that you will be inviting the following day. So that'll make it so much easier for you to sit down and be like, okay, I'm inviting these 15 people today. And then you just write them those messages. And so if you do that list the day before, then that's going to help you the next day. So if you can take that time, and I have found that when I'm not, this is how our brain works, right? And maybe your brain doesn't work this way, but I found that I am more likely to write someone's name down if I am not inviting them right then. And then the next day when I go to invite, I'm more likely to invite because I wrote their name down, as opposed to sitting and finding the people and then inviting them right then, if that makes sense. It's like less scary to write their name down than it is to invite them. And then if you just have a list of people and it's go time, you just sit down for 10 minutes and invite those people. So if that is something that will be a good trick for your brain, especially if you struggle with being fearful and inviting, do that. So that's another, I'm sure I could keep talking, but we only have 10 minutes. So does anybody have like specific questions or something that I didn't touch on that I could help with?
Okay, this has nothing to do with that, but I was wondering, so do I get commission from my coaches?
Okay, so how it works is you are building volume from your coaches.
Okay.
So Lindsay actually asked me this the other day. It does not feel lucrative to add coaches to your team because customers you get commission off of. You get either 25%, 35 or 40%, depending on what it is you're selling. Coaches, you are building volume. And so it takes time for that volume to start cycling. But I'm telling you, like more and more, I've been in this for over a year now, and more my paychecks are becoming more volume and less commission. And so it's all about that long-term mindset when you're adding coaches to your team. You do, when you sign them up with a challenge pack, you do get a $50 bonus. And if you sign up 5 coaches in 5 weeks, you get a $100 bonus. So there are ways to be making money while you're signing up coaches before you start building up that volume. But you make more commission off of customers in the short term. So it feels like it's not important to add coaches because you want to make that money. But in the long run, first of all, when you get to Diamond, your team cycle bonus goes from 14 to 18. And I didn't think that was a big deal until I went Diamond and realized what a stinking big deal that was in my paychecks. Like those $4 cycling make a huge difference. So you really want to get to Diamond for that $18 cycle. And ultimately, long run, you're not going to start really making good money until you get to 2-star Diamond. So that's why we push Diamond so much, not just for ourselves, but because for you and your business and your long-term success, like you need to get there. But yeah, customers, you do make initial commission more so.
Okay, question again. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So my year is up in October. Does everybody just cancel and get a new challenge pack, or?
You totally can. I didn't this year, and it probably would have been wise to, because you could just order like single packets of Shakeology to do either. I don't really do giveaways of Shakeology often, or like sell to prospects.
Mm-hmm.
You get products super cheap. The reason I didn't is because I buy that product to keep Alex's account active and my account active.
Okay.
But you totally could. Anything else? Okay. Here's my check your feelings at the door, tough love talk. Y'all signed up for this. And most of you told me you wanted to build an income. So if you want to build an income and not just want people to think you want to do this, then you need to put the work in. So if you want to do this, do it. And if it's not for you, that's totally cool. I don't want anybody wasting their time here. I don't want my time wasted. I don't want your time wasted. I love you all so dearly, and I want you to be successful. And I'm telling you, the only way to be successful is to do the things you don't want to do in the short term. And I saw Katie Crum. I don't follow her, but every once in a while I like pop in on her page. And she posted at over like New Year's and Christmas. And she was like, first year of owning your own business. Never watch reality TV ever. And then she was like, fourth year, you get to enjoy that. And basically like the point of that was like in the beginning, you are sacrificing that stuff. You know what I mean? Like you're not getting to sit down and spend, you know, Monday nights watching The Bachelor. We use that example because Monday nights are team calls. Or whatever it is, you're sacrificing that time to build your business and be involved in the community. And then year 4, when you're making a paycheck, you can take Katie Crum when we're all hustling our behinds off between Christmas and New Year's to get people in for that New Year's rush. Katie Crum takes a week off. That's how much money she makes. So again, this is not about income. I'm in this business to help people change their lives the way that mine was changed. And I hope you all know my heart in that whenever we talk about money. But ultimately, a lot of you are saying you'd love to be a stay-at-home mom and have an income. And I'm telling you, it feels really good, really, really good to know that I am bringing in the same paycheck I was bringing in this time last year, except for I get to stay home with my baby. And so if that is something you are looking for, you need to bust your butt right now so that in 4 years, we can take a week off between Christmas and New Year's and enjoy time with our family that we worked for while we're making money. So work now so you can savor later. That's why we cook dinner, right? We work an hour in the kitchen to make a really nice meal so we can savor it afterwards. So bust your butts, you guys. It's worth it, and only you can do it. I can't do it for you, and I can give you all the tough love in the world, but if you don't want this, it's not going to work. So I want to see everybody who wants this. I want to see all your names on that Success Club board next month, and I want to see rank advancements. I can't wait for next Thursday to be shouting people out who are going Emerald, and in 5 weeks who people are going Diamond. Like, I am so pumped for our team. And you guys, I was laying in bed last night and doing the math, and I had a total holy cannoli moment because we actually can go 5-star. We have the people on our team. We can be a 5-star elite team. Team Title Joy can be on that stage at Summit next year. And let me tell you, when I sat down on that floor with Julie at Summit, she brought me down to the floor one night, and we sat there amongst all these people who have created this incredible business. It was like the most surreal feeling ever. And that could be us next year. I could be bringing you guys down to that floor at Summit because we are a 5-star elite team and we can do it. And you can do it for your teams too. So bust your butt now so that you can enjoy it later. And that is my hustle during the bustle spiel. Did you like that team call name? I was super excited about that name. Okay, less than a minute. Anybody want to take a picture? Lindsay. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. Okay.
Boomerang, are we ready?
Wait. Ready?
You count it down.
3, 2, 1. Okay. I love you, girls. Let me know if you have any questions or if you want to have a one-on-one. Mwah!
Thank you, Callie.
Bye.
Bye.